For the longest time, I've had a reoccurring problem with my games looking like absolute shit. Now, with this new game, I decided I can't keep blaming my programming background for making games that look like an 8-year-old made them. Wait, today's 8-year-olds are like way better than me at game devs, so yeah. I looked long and hard for easy wins that could improve the look of my game without me having to sit and model and animate for a week straight, because honestly, I'm just lazy as f. Later on in the video, you'll also see a crazy addition to the game that really spiced up the gameplay, so stay tuned for that one. Now, the first thing that came to my mind was the arena itself looking super boring, so I got myself a glass of orange juice and got to work. Now that the arena walls are looking much more natural, I started thinking about the inside of the arena, cause, you know, that's where you're gonna see all the time while playing. I tried adding some trees, looked f***ing cringe. I tried adding another tree, Unity forgot this feature even existed, so it's completely useless. But then I found some other trees that seemed okay, which is about as high as my standards generally go for anything in life, so I kept those. Then I added some leaf particles falling from the tree and blowing in the wind, because environment particles are just the quickest way of making a game go from ugly to mediocre. I also recorded a long segment explaining how using a color palette for your game makes it look complete and polished, but it looks like I never pressed the record button on that one, so bing bang bong, the game has now gone from this to this. After the environment was finished, I decided to make a new model for one of the mobs, which is this guy. This took me way too long, I mean way too long. Maybe I should just hire one of those 8-year-olds, cause they'll do a much better job than me in like a fourth of the time, so either way, here's 2 hours of my life in like 30 seconds, enjoy. Boom! He's done! Looking so fresh. Basically your wife's boyfriend at this point. I can't believe we went from this to this. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Now that we have Victoria's Secret worthy models in the game, it's time to take care of some long overdue fixes. First of all, the dash needs to get a new animation. Dare I say a dashing animation? Sheesh! Look at Rick, he's such a gamer running around with this new fresh animation. I just can't stop looking at it. Now, something that's bothered me for a long time is all the balancing, which there is a lot of. It's so hard to deal with because I'm just basing my changes on, well, nothing. I'm literally just guessing. So I threw together this juicy stat panel showing approximately how much damage you're dealing with each spell effect, but the numbers are kind of messed up because it turns out it's really hard to calculate damage when abilities affect each other's behavior. But we don't care about that, I mean, poor balance has never ruined any games, right? Next up on the agenda is hit splats. They are sort of pointless right now because they're just floating in the air, so it's impossible to see what and what isn't taking damage. So I fixed it. Big numbers big, small numbers small, and they now actually follow the enemies around. Sick. Now it's been some time since someone actually played my game, so how about I call this one friend who has no life Diablo 2 for years, and maybe things will go better this time? Well, he was the third player to reach max level and also managed to break the game, so there's that. I also threw in the ability to pause the game, but I don't think anyone really gives a fuck about that, so let's move on. It's time to reveal the arguably most important part of the video. Something grand, dangerous, something only the sweatiest of gamers can handle. Say hello to Elite. Elites come with 5 abilities as of current. They also have a massive health pool and slap harder than cards on vibe. The first ability is a fire trail similar to the one the player can unlock themselves. This fire trail spawns with the elite and its followers and deals quite a bit of damage if you're not careful. Everyone who's played video games before Fortnite know that you should never ever stand in the fire. Next up is the prison ability. This one is pretty straightforward. You can't leave until you kill it and you can't dash through it either. At least after my latest fix you can't. The third ability is a no damage zone, which the elite spawns with regular intervals. If you stand in this circle, you can't deal damage to anything. So get out of the circle. Fourth ability is a spell that follows you. Can you guess what happens if you stand inside the circle? That's right, you take barely any damage because I fucked up the numbers. Lastly, we have basically the opposite to the no damage zone. Only damage, no, that's not right. A limited, no, that's not right either. An enclosed damage zone. Yeah, let's go with that because it's not gonna get better than that. In this one, you need to stay inside the circle to deal damage to anything. And like with all the other abilities, it disappears once you kill the elite. Now, what's cool about this is that you might encounter two different elites with two different abilities, and you gotta figure out how to deal with them at the same time. This can create some really interesting scenarios, and I can't wait to see how this turns out once they have a bunch of different abilities. If you manage to kill one of these, you'll be rewarded with tons of XP and a bunch of loot, so it's definitely worth the pain. Anyways, apart from that, I tweaked some colors of the player's projectiles, and that was pretty much all I did since last video. Some of you have already joined the Discord and gotten to try out my latest build, so if you want to be a part of that, then feel free to click the link in the description. Other than that, thanks so much for making it till the end. Make sure to let me know if you have any ideas or thoughts about the game in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
#1 victory royale, yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down.